Sorry, I'm learning how to chant. I'm terrible at it, but we're gonna learn. We're all gonna learn how to chant. Anyway, let's see. Can I win? Hey, we won! Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh, look at Mel. Sold a bunch of stuff. Delete all that. Let's see. Do I even have a floater on this character? I don't even know. I think I have a crap floater. If I have a crap floater, I'm going to switch to somebody else. I'm tired of farming floaters at this point. I've already farmed up like 6 floaters. It's not easy. It takes several hours. And all this junk has to go in here. Come on, go. Go over there. Oh, it's full. Dang it. There. Wow, I've filled my bank up. Chronoton buffer. Do I even need these? What about this? Prize voucher. Well, we're gonna have to start getting rid of some stuff. Ketracell. Batteret sedative. Let's see, what do we get rid of? Eggs. I can probably, yeah, I can dump these. I can always reclaim them later. Discard that. Discard. Ooh, hold on, wait. Does that actually come from a ship? Bind on equip. That does not come from a ship. Okay. So yeah, we're not gonna dump that one. Asymmetric church. Oh, we can dump this one. What's this? Acetone assimilator. That does not come from a ship. Okay, go there. You can go there. Is that Tulaberry? Yeah, Tulaberry wine. Let's see, do I have any lulls on here? I don't think I do. Well, let's see. Let's go. I think we're gonna go do some patrols first. Let's go do a patrol. Yeah. Let's see. Which one do I want to do? Brothra system. Before I start that, I will actually be right back. My apologies. Why am I yawning, man? It's only 9 o'clock at night. The foreign system. Borg cooperative fleet. It's gone dark. Romulan agents. Intel gathering operation. It's the VOD war. Satellite defense. Let's go with Unity.
I'm Logan Curtis of the Borg Cooperative. My vessel has taken heavy damage in battle, and several critical systems are on the verge of failure. Any assistance you can provide will be greatly appreciated. I realize you may not have reason to trust us, but I assure you, we are not your enemy. Assimilation is not our goal.
Alright, let's roll up on him.
Thank you for the aid. The Cooperative has tried to seek peace with Species 6339, but to no effect. They do not see that although we are Borg, we are free of the Collective's influence and wish no harm to others. Species 6339 ambushed us in this system. My vessel was equipped to deal with such a threat, but then the Vodwar happened upon our conflict, and the Vodwar see everyone as a target. They open fire on all of us. Now there are damaged ships on both sides. We would aid Species 6339 and show them we are not their enemy. But we will need your help. We shall follow your lead.
We've come a long way, man. We're helping out a Borg sphere. Optani. Those are the guys with the weird things coming out of their foreheads.
Stay away from us.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with Borg collaborators. If you want to help, destroy those drones. If you're not willing to do that, then go and leave us in peace. We will do what must be done. Peace? Our species was nearly wiped out by the Borg, and now they seek peace? There is no peace with a drone. The will of the Collective remains in all of them, even if they claim to be free of it. Destroy them, and then we will talk to you about peace.
Incoming Vodwar!
Wood War! Oh man, they shot down my oops, that's kind of loud. Hold on, let me adjust my volume here. Ooh, too low. That's better.
More Vodwar
Ooh.
are warping to our location.
That looked like it hurt. It's gonna hit that. Damn. I knew my torpedo was gonna hit that damn thing.
You saved us?
Yes, we saved you.
You and the Cooperative helped us? Perhaps we were wrong. If the Cooperative is willing to fight against such odds. The Borg brought my people to the brink of extinction. Now the Vodwar are determined to finish us. If the Cooperative wants to unite against them, then our survival is more important than the past. We will require your assistance to recover our other ships in the area. Then make a stand against the Vaudois.
It's weird. It's like his mouth is moving, but his lips aren't moving. That's weird.
We shall follow you to recover our ally.
These guys have construction anchors. Oh my god, I hate those. Construction anchors are basically tractor beams that you have to destroy. Man, they are annoying. Time to keep my distance from them. Get that thing away from me. Oh man, that thing got nailed.
Thank you for an unexpected aid.
Ooh. Commander ship. My plasmas are just like, what do we do?
Thank you for your assistance.
We need to recover one more ship. It should be close. It's a trap. The Vaudois will be here at any moment. You must retreat.
The Cooperative will not leave you to this.
Oh crap, I got nailed. Uh-oh, I'm getting popped really hard. That was close. That's a lot of odd warships.
Only a few Vought more left. Let's finish this.
Oh, that one's already dead. That was actually kind of close. Well, there's the anchor.
Thank you for your assistance. It will take some work, but my people must see that these Borg were victims of the Collective, just as we were. If we hope to have any chance of rebuilding the Octanti civilization, we will need allies. And those alliances can only flourish once the Vaadwaur are defeated.
I believe we have taken an important step toward a truce with Species 6-3... with the Octanti. I think we have more in common than we realize. I'm not reading any Vaadwaur craft on sensors. We'll handle it from here. Thank you once again for your assistance. The Cooperative will remember your goodwill, and I suspect the Octanti will as well.
Guess we could head to Ryza now. Let's see what we got. Let's see, we got discovery marks, right? Okay, good. Well, let's head over to Ryza first, and then I'll mess with all that. Go get some... whatchamacallits. Oh, crap, I forgot. I think this character doesn't have a floater. I may have to switch to another character. Come on, load. We'll go with... Okay, I know she has a floater. She's already in her bathing suit. There we go. And she got her rainbow triple. Let's do some nut collecting. That sounds terrible. That's right. In this summer event, you have to collect nuts. Artifact scavenger hunt. Actually, let's do that first.
Say, friend, the name's Sova. How can I help? There's a bunch of... How can I help you today?
Really? Right here? This one? Because I know there's usually a node right here. Nope, it's not it. What are you doing awake, Moni? Go to bed, man. It's like 6 a.m. where you are. We're 5 a.m. What are you doing awake? Further? Oh, it's going to be the one over here. I think it's either here or in the next little... Yeah, I think it's over here.
You found it!
There it is.
Quickly, dig it up and bring it back to me at my camp. Well done. How can I...
Probably go do a patrol on this character, too. Waiting on an update to go live on 7 Deadly. Man, you get up early to play that game, huh? That's dedication, man. But I know some people that do that on Duel Links, too. Like, they'll stay up until the middle of the night, like 2:30 in the morning. Just so they can play the update. And I'm like, come on, man. Just let it update. You're not going to miss much. When does the update go live? Like an hour or two? Romulan drones, Zindi Mobila. Only frigates. Huh. Speaking of which, what's my... There we go. Already 13 of 20. I could buy my way there. But I really don't want to drop any low beyond this. It's kind of pointless. I mean, you definitely have enough time to get it done, so... More junk I don't need. I guess Comrade's waiting on that too then. Before he has to go to work. Well, actually, does he even still have a job? I didn't even think to ask him. Because I know things are all kinds of nutty over there right now where he is. Let's see, let's do a patrol. Actually, hold on, I have an idea. Let's do... Let's see. No, that doesn't help. Oh, I think it's called, here we go, Colony Invasion. Let's do Colony Invasion. That's a dungeon, but Colony is always pretty fun. It's usually pretty fast, too. Oh, that's right. I still need to get the Rizian Tribble. But I can get that. Did I have a Rizian Tribble? I don't. Okay. Because he told me once what he does, but yeah, I don't really know what it is that he actually does. Like he told me where he worked. He worked like in some government building or something like that, but I have no idea what he does. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I was just wondering if he still had his job, because I know a lot of people lost their job. Let's see. Okay. Well, there's the rainbow trouble. Oh, that's right. I have to use the foods. So the Bajoran mojito is what we actually need. So we'll grab that. And supposedly any tribble plus that will give me a Resian tribble. So we're gonna get our tribble drunk. Nothing like a drunk tribble. Surprisingly, this queue's taking kind of long. It usually doesn't take very long for a colony invasion. I guess because everybody's doing the summer event. And the power board race is in 4 minutes. Dance off is in a half hour. More artifacts in 18. Horgon hunt in an hour. Ugh. I just missed the Horgon hunt. Could probably, while I'm waiting, I can probably check my duty officers here. Let me see. Let's collect all this. Just with all the turmoil and everything going on over there, I have no idea if he's still employed. I mean, they effectively had no government. All of them quit. All of them were like, nah, I'm not sticking around for this. I think because they all knew that they were at least partially responsible for what happened. I don't know how it really operates over in their country. Are they like subject to lawsuits? Because I know if that happened here in the US, oh man, would there be lawsuits all over the place. Because you have to imagine every person that died, their families would file suit, and then every person that was injured, their family would file suit. And then people whose businesses got destroyed, yeah, they had insurance, but then the insurance companies would file suit to try and recoup some of the money. So it would be a storm of insanity if that happened here in the U.S. I don't know how their judicial system works over there though. Let's see, I got plenty of tags. What is physical augmentation armor? That's pretty crap. I'm gonna salvage that. My luck, I'm gonna join the power board race, but my luck, colony invasion will pop right when I'm trying to start this. You like my little weird space thingy? Oh hell yeah, it's a huge mess over there. There are probably literally thousands of businesses that are all trying to deal with it. Like tons of buildings were damaged or in some cases even destroyed. The houses were destroyed. I keep seeing pictures. Like there's a picture of some guy up in his loft in a building, and his windows are all blown out and his furniture is all destroyed and stuff, and he's just sitting there smoking a cigarette. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? I mean, all you can do is just sit and just like, guess I'll have a cigarette. And then there was another one of an older lady. She was in her home, and again, somebody's filming, and you can see the windows are all blown out and things are all destroyed, but the piano survived, and she's sitting there and she's playing on the piano, which I think is kind of interesting. But oh, there was another video too. Like I shared that video of that woman who was being filmed for her. It was like a wedding photo shoot, and then you can see where it's kind of like they're trying to do the shoot, and then you can see where the bomb goes off, and she freaks out and runs and all that. They were okay. Turns out there was another couple that were doing something similar, and they have video on it too. So yeah, it's just insanity. What do you think about this bathing suit? Looks kind of. Are you serious? See, I told you. I would be waiting for the power board race, and then the timer would pop. Of course. People don't like her little headgear, but I like the headgear. I think it looks neat. It does seem a little odd that it's attached to her neck. What, you don't like her headgear? Because she can see right through you? Well, no power board race. Well, let's see. If it doesn't pull me... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, if it doesn't pull me into the dungeon, then I'll join. But it just did. Alright, let's see. Let's get this thing going. I'm still waiting for my tribble. Ooh, we're facing the Undine. Here, you stay there. I'm gonna go over here and try to kill this guy. Come on, guys, get to shoot this guy. There we go. There we go. I generally try to run ahead here and throw some mines down. Man, they were having a really hard time with them over there, huh? Come on, guys, they're not that hard. Oh, I see somebody ran way up there. That's why they're having a hard time with them. Oh, really? He ran all the way up there but didn't assist the colonist? Come on, man. What are you doing? I'm gonna run ahead, but I'm not gonna save the colonists. Whenever you save colonists like that, you get bonus marks and stuff. So that's like one of the things you want to do. Yeah, the Undine are some really freaky looking aliens. Oh, we have a couple of dead people now. Let me start setting up more of my bombs. Wow, nobody knows what they're doing here. Nobody's grabbing the data. I guess I'm the only one doing it. Oh, they're pulling the last dudes already. That's weird. Here, I'm gonna go pull the Mogado, since they're going nuts over here. Yeah, check this guy out. It's a monkey! Oh, he's glitching. There we go. We'll get the Mogado to come over here. Oh, that poor thing is always glitching. Yeah, they pulled the final boss way too quickly. Supposed to kill the Mogado first. That and they're sticking over, they're sitting over there by him, so they're getting their butts kicked. There we go, that's what you're supposed to do. Bring him over here. So we can get a little space. Oh my god. The Mogado's not even dead yet! Look at that dude already left. He's like, screw it, I'm not fighting the Mogado. His name is Mook, but he's a Mugado. Oh my god, everybody's leaving! What are y'all do? Fine, I'll take this damn thing on. I'll do this myself. And again, Tez is just standing right there by him. I see why he's doing it, but still, it's kind of dumb. There we go, bonus objective. But it's crap, because they finished the run too quickly. And so we didn't get the bonus objective, even though we completed it. No, they're real. These are real people. Whenever you go into a dungeon, it's real people. Yeah, in dungeons it's real, in patrols it's not. Powerboard racing. Oh, well, the biathlon starts in a little bit. We can do that. Change back in my swimsuit here. Where is it? Is it here? There we go. Yeah, that's. I mean, I like Colony Invasion. It's kind of it's quick and it's fun because you just go out there and you start blasting away. But sometimes people move a little too quickly, like they just leave the team behind and they just keep pushing forward, and they get themselves in trouble. And before you know it, like 40 enemies are all coming at you at once, and it's like, okay, who pulled all of those? Generally, if you've got a bunch of engineers with a bunch of bombs, then you're usually okay if you do that. But having a team full of nothing but engineers is pretty rare. Ooh, what is this on my hands? Oh, that was weird. But yeah, I can honestly say in all the games that I've been in, MMOs, when you do dungeons, all the teams are pretty much the same. There's always at least that one guy who doesn't know what he's doing, and then there's that one guy who is impatient, so he just runs ahead of everybody and pulls everything. And then there's the rest of us who are like, okay, are we running? Are we running ahead? Are we waiting? What are we doing? Yay, biathlon. Darn, this is where I could really use that tribble. Oh, dang, it still hasn't eaten it. Yeah, the Rizian tribble helps you go a little bit faster when you're on when you have your floater. So it's nice to have it. I mean, I don't even have to do this. I've got so many monkey tags, it's ridiculous. When you get more than monkey tags, you get the nuts. It still sounds weird to me. Really, only the two of us. Okay. Well, I'm getting at least second place. Oh, somebody got here a little too late. Oh, well, they're still in. Okay, maybe they got in just in time. Really? She got the boost, but I didn't. I hate it when that happens. We both hit the mark at the same time, but only one of us gets the boost. There we go, now I got a boost. Hopefully I can make it for this small deficit here with my flying. Oh, well there we go, I'm already passing them, nice. I passed one. Go, 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 go! Oh no, don't lag, stop lagging! There we go, I got a nice little lead here now. As long as I don't hit a frickin' tree, I'm good. Did they get DQ'd? I don't even see them back there. They got DQ'd. Oh wow, he was right behind me. Okay, yeah, that one girl that joined late, she got DQ'd. So it's just me and him. But we won. Now I've got 67 monkey tags. I'm never gonna use all of these. I really wish these weren't bind to character. I could pass them to all my other characters and have them research it. Yeah, the little celebration. Yeah. Let's see, while I'm waiting for the tribble, I can probably... Let me see, what else can we do? What other dungeons do I like? Atmospheric Assault. Is there Nebula? Nebula I'm not crazy over. Binary Circuit. Breach I hate. Crystalline Catastrophe. This one's okay. It's a little nutty. We can try it. I'll queue for it. Days of Doom. Radio Station. Starbase 1. Renor Beach Assault. Federation Fleet. Oh, wow. I completely forgot about that one. That's an old one. But I'm pretty sure people still do it. Starbase Blockade. Gateway to Grethor. Gravity. Oh, I hate gravity kills. That's such an annoying dungeon. The whole time you're fighting, you have to fight against... well, okay, how can I put this? When you're fighting enemies, there's a black hole not too far from you. So not only do you have to fight the enemies, but you constantly have to fight the gravitational pull of the black hole. So it gets annoying because you're trying to speed away and the black hole's like, nah, come here. And if you fall to the black hole, of course you die. Herald Sphere, Kobayashi Maru. Minor instabilities, Mycelial Realm, Pova Dissension, Starbase Fleet Defense. Oh, that used to be so fun. That used to be so fun. This was a 20-man dungeon. It took a little while to get going usually, but man, was it fun. Because it was just absolute hell. Because the way it is there's basically a starbase. And then you have 4 parts of the starbase. Think of it like north, south, east, west. And you get a team of 5 on each part. And every time a wave of enemy comes, they hit every single one. So you have to kind of stick where you are and defend that little outpost near your starbase. And then after you do that a few times, then they start trying to hit the starbase. And just massive waves of enemies come. And so there's like 20 of you. And there's, like 40 or 50 enemies all over the place. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But damn, was it fun. Storming the Spire, Swarm, Twin Tribulations, Zenkethi Front, Undine Assault, Undine Infiltration, Vault Ensnared. We'll stick with 1 for now. Oh, artifacts. Okay, cool. So we got the artifacts coming up anyway. So we're queued for that. Salvage that. No use for it. We got to start lobbying that company that does 7 Deadly Sins. What's the name of the company again? Net something? I forget what it is. I don't think it's NetEase. Is it NetEase? I don't think it's NetEase. I hope it's not. Because that's one of the Chinese companies that... Yeah, unfortunately, they're a little,
For a limited time only, I will be
they're a
awarding
little
bonus favors
scary.
to anyone who comes help me locate there's a bunch. How can I?
But then again, I can't say too much because this game is done by Perfect World, which is also a Chinese company. Net Marble. Yeah, I knew it was Net something. I just didn't remember what it was. You gotta tell them we gotta get them on Steam. I think the reason why they don't want to go to Steam is because they don't want to pay yet another distributor another 30%. Actually, I don't think Steam charges 30%. Don't they charge something like 18%? I think it's 18% on in-game purchases is what they charge, which is better than Google or Apple. Oh, and Apple and Google are in the news big time right now because of that whole thing with Fortnite. And Fortnite started that fight. So that's going to be interesting the way that plays out. Yeah, I think Epic Games, because they've made so much freaking money off of Fortnite. Now they figure, oh well, now we can go against Google and Apple because we have just as much money. Well, okay, they don't have just as much money, but they do have a lot of money. I still don't think it's a great idea, but we'll see how it plays out. Notice you streaming Dragon Ball Xenoverse. What is Dragon Ball Xenoverse? I have no idea what that is. No, we were talking about Seven. We were talking about how Steam needs to carry Seven Deadly Sins. Because if they carried Seven Deadly Sins, I'd play it. The only reason I don't play it is because my emulator sucks. Well, all the emulators suck. Oh, okay. I know where this one is. It's going to be right over here, I think.
You found it. Quickly, dig it up and bring it back to me.
Yeah. And the thing is, Fortnite knew what it was doing. It's not something that just sort of happened.
Well
Because
done. Well, how can I
they
help?
implemented a system within their game on both Apple and Google stores that allowed players to bypass the payment system through Apple and through Google. Because every time you buy stuff for a game, both Apple and Google get 30% of that sale. That's just how it is. That's their rule. And so Fortnite wanted to avoid that, and so they built in a system within the game that allows them to bypass that on both platforms. So Apple banned them for bypassing their store, and then like literally later that day or the next day, Google did the same thing. Google also banned them. And then Fortnite, who knew this was going to happen, put out a commercial very similar to Apple's old 1984 commercial, which fights against Big Brother and tyranny and that sort of thing. It was kind of weird. And now they're saying, yeah, you want to do this? Then fine, we'll go to court. So they're going to court now. I imagine it's probably going to be something that's going to go through the courts for years. The lawyers are going to make so much money off of that. They're going to, seriously, those lawyers are going to make millions because they're going to have so many billable hours. Because I imagine each company is going to have a team of lawyers. They're going to have about 10 lawyers. And then, of course, you have all the assistants. So that's going to be something that they're going to dump millions and millions of dollars into. I don't know who's going to win, but it's still kind of neat and interesting that Fortnite is doing it. Even if they lose, I guess it's still something. But if they win, that might actually push through some change. Might be a good thing. Because 30% is pretty steep, to be honest. I mean, even if you think of what Steam does, like I said, I think Steam, whenever you sell a game through Steam, Steam gets like an 18% cut, which I think is still kind of high. But 30% is even worse. So, yeah. I can kind of see why people who play Duel Links on Steam, Steam is probably, or not Steam, but Konami is probably happy about that because every sale that they do through Steam is, charged at a lower rate. So that's good. Yeah, I think both Google and Apple need to chill out on the. And I think the reason they do that is because they know they can. Because they're like, well, who else are you going to go to? Those are really the two. I mean, via Apple, like if you have an Apple device, the Apple Store is the only place you can go. You cannot install a software from anywhere else. On Android, it's a little different. Google Play is the big store, but you can subvert it and go and get apps from other places. But of course, most people won't do that. Most people just like to stick with the store. Yeah, I seriously doubt that Google and Apple are going to lower their rates. Ooh, we're facing Borg. This should be interesting. Yeah, the first wave here is usually pretty light. It's once we get into like wave 8 and 9 that things start getting really hairy. Oh. Man, my Intrepids are kicking ass. Holy crap. They're hitting hard. Those little Intrepids you see flying around, those are mine. I called some help in. Kind of a good thing I did. Borg are not easy. Oh, here come the cubes. Let's get y'all to group up together there. APK Mirror is on Google Play, but it's on beta. I don't know what that is. Oh, we look at, somebody has the swarmers. Oh my gosh, those swarmers are nuts. Yeah, wow, the cubes are just getting annihilated. That's kind of amazing. Got one more sphere. Yeah, I don't know what APK mirror is. No clue. I better head over here because... Yeah, that's always nice. Get that gravity well going. All those spheres are going to eat the... There we go. Oh, Shrez, you should not have flown in there. Or Shraz. He flew right in there on the... We're near the gravity well, so he got destroyed. It's like a store of apps. Oh, okay. Yeah, I threw the gravity well out there at the cube, knowing that all of the spheres would get drawn to it. And I guess Shraz didn't realize what was going to happen. And so he just went in there, I'm going to do it. Got annihilated. I think this is my starbase. Yeah, this looks like my starbase. More gravity well. Oh God, I love gravity wells so much. Look at this. Absolutely annihilated. More of them are behind us. Let's aim for the cube. I still wish we could get a Borg cube. Oh my God, Shraz died again. Poor guy. He's like, no! You cannot be getting killed. He is only, I think he's only a lieutenant commander. Yeah, he's lieutenant commander. So he's not a high rank, which kind of explains why he's getting annihilated. Okay, is it time for the boss yet? Yeah, here's the boss. I think Shraz keeps getting his shield eaten. Oh, well, there goes the tactical cube. Don't run in there, Shraz. Don't do it. I know you want to. How many fleet marks does this give again? 45? That's not bad. No, I don't want to talk to the little critter. Yeah, there are other app stores that are out there for Android. The thing about Android, though, is, again, I know... oh, good, we made it back in time for the dance-off. Nice. At least when you get something from the Google Play Store or from the Apple Store, the good thing is that you know it's probably going to be safe. So that's why I'm still kind of like, well, I think I'll stick with the stores. Because, yeah, I mean, anybody can make an app for Android and just offer it, and you can just download it and manually install it. but again, you don't know exactly where it might be coming from. So there is a chance that it could be malware. It could turn your phone into a zombie, which I think is probably what most mobile viruses do, or malware. They just turn your phone into a zombie and just have it mine things like Bitcoin. Probably what it does. It's not. It doesn't make a ton of money when it's mining, but over time. So I guess she's ready to dance. Hold on, let's see. Samba. She can do the unusual dance. I need to get more dances. Okay, I know where to get the fan dance. I'm just so annoyed with where you have to go to get it. Because there's this thing that you do on Nimbus. Nimbus is a planet where there's a bunch of missions and quests and stuff. Uh, in the bar on Nimbus, you can go talk to some guy, and there's a dance contest that he does every day. And if you do the dance contest successfully 4 days in a row, then you get the fan dance. But I don't like staying on Nimbus for 4 straight days. It's basically a desert planet. It's so ugly. I guess I could. And the thing is, when you get the dance, it doesn't open it up for all of your characters, just the one character you put there, which is unfortunate. Cupid Dance, never heard of that one. I guess that's for some other holiday. Disco, I think I have unlocked on one of my other characters. The Ferengi Dance is dumb. I'm trying to remember where that one came from. I think you can buy it. I think you can buy it with GPL. The Groove is kind of neat. Jester is, I don't know. Balance? I've never seen that one. And Awesome. Let's see, Swish. I don't know. The Zombie Dance was a Halloween thing. Oh, that means it's coming up pretty soon, so we can try to get the Zombie Dance unlocked for this character. Yeah, they don't really have a Halloween event for this game, but yeah, I think what they do is there's this one mission. It's supposed to be kind of scary and spooky, that they unlock it only on Friday the 13th or on Halloween. Yeah, and I think they added, if you complete it on those days, then you get the Zombie Dance. Because I know I have the Zombie Dance on other characters, just not this one. Let me see, am I missing any dances? Oh yeah, Dance Mix. But here we go, let's do some unusual. There you go, she's doing the Carlton. She looks really silly doing it.
The limited
Okay, well,
time rewards have ended. You can still seek out artifacts, but only for the standard payout.
Let's see, what other one do they not do? And oh, here we go. Yeah, they don't do smooth in the dance contest or the dance off. Never seen a board get down like this, huh? That's the shuffle. Yeah, he's doing the shuffle. I have that too. Yeah, the only dances they call out during the dance off are the ones that you get by default, not the ones you acquire, which makes sense. Because if they're like, hey, do the fan dance, you're like, oh, I don't have the fan dance. Then we get the, oh yeah, you get the samba advanced from actually doing the dance off, so that's kind of neat. You get this dance. I actually like that one. That's kind of neat looking. And it is a samba. All of you young kids have no idea what a samba is. Oh my god, what is that? It looks like a child. She's wearing the baseball uniform. Ah, she changed. I wanted to see the baseball uniform. God, she looks like a 12-year-old. Yeah, some players are a little weird. Um, they make characters like that, which I'm not going to pass judgment because I have no idea. I mean, for all I know, this could be a 12-year-old girl playing this game, and there you go. She made a character that looks like her. But if we're being very honest, most of the people that play this game are
Dance
male.
party starts in half a minute. Get out on the dance floor.
So, yeah. It's a little weird. Hey, don't judge me. My character is an adult, obviously. Okay, here we go. Dance time.
Do the running man.
The bus thrust. They're here, but I don't think they joined. They're not dancing yet.
Do the snake.
Yeah, come on, man. Do the snake. The best thing you can do is mix the dances. Like, you got wave your hands in the snake. You can wave your snake.
Raise the roof.
Sounds wrong, but... Or you can raise the snake. Or you can smooth your
Just
hands.
dance. Raise the roof.
I know you all don't like politics, but I'm going to bring it up. As you all probably heard, our fearless leader, Mr. Trumpkin,
Do the robot.
his brother died, which I'm not making fun of his brother's death. I'm not going to do that because the guy's dead. Come on. Have a little respect. What I will, at the very least, question
Raise the roof.
is the fact that his brother dies. And that's, I think it was the same day or the next day, he's out playing golf. I can't
Do the leg
imagine,
kick.
I can't imagine doing that. Like, if my brother died, I mean, because there are certain things you need to do, you know, for your family when something like that happens. But he's just like, eh, I got some golfing to do.
Dance club style.
I thought that was really, really weird. Really, really weird. Yeah, it kind of goes to show what type of a family it is, though. It really is a family of
Do
sociopaths.
the leg kick.
And interestingly enough, that new book that came out about the Trump family, written by, I think, his niece, it actually goes through and
Do the
explains
leg kick.
how they all became that way. Apparently, his father was a sociopath, and he was very unloving, and his whole thing was only about getting ahead, about making
Do
money.
the running man.
And that's all that he really impressed onto his children. And so all of his kids became that way. And then, of course, you know, when all of your kids become that way, your grandkids are
the
probably going to end up that
robot.
way too. So it really explains a lot about how that family operates. They're all like that. They just think that's how people are supposed to live,
Do the running man.
which is actually really sad. I guess nobody ever told them or showed them that there is more to life than just making money. I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody wants to make money. That's just how it is. But at the same time,
Robot.
you know, there are other things that you do, other things that you live for. And he was never taught that. That's probably why he reacted the way he did. That's probably was he was like, "Oh, my brother's dead. Well, time to go golfing.
Just
I
dance.
got things I got to do." I've heard of people doing that though. There was a woman that I read about years ago that she got upset with her brother, who I think was in his 50s,
Do the
uh,
snake.
because he died. He had a heart attack and died. And she got extremely upset with him because she was going to go on vacation. And she's like, why did he choose now of all times to die? I was going to go on vacation.
Dance club style.
And of course, now she has to stay and probably take care of things. So it's like, yeah, I'm sure he just wanted to die just to ruin your vacation. Let me do that, yeah. The next time I see one of my family members getting ready to go on vacation, let me drop dead just to ruin it for him. People are
Raise
weird.
the roof. Do the robot.
Yeah, more stuff going on. More mailboxes are being removed. Again, no good reason given. More mail sorting machines are getting shut down.
Do the side step.
There was a guy who, I think I mentioned this. There was actually there was a handful of people that came out and said that they are so behind on the mail that batches of mail that come in, they'll sit for
Just
3 or 4 days before even getting sorted. They literally sit there in a warehouse not doing anything because their capacity to sort the mail has
The
been
robot.
limited. And I'm like, man, if the mail's already, because I noticed this started happening in February, where there would be days where my entire neighborhood, not just my apartment complex, but just this whole area, the mailman
Raise
wouldn't
the
even come
roof.
by, which is very unusual. I've never in my life seen a time where the mailman, even seriously, even during times that we've had incredible storms like hurricanes and stuff,
Do the robot.
the mailman may take a day off if it's like the day of the storm and the storm is like hitting right then and there, but like the next day they're already out mail again. So that just kind of goes to show something extreme has to happen for them to not come and deliver the
Raise
mail.
the roof.
But yeah, since February, it started where it was like they would miss like one day here and there. They wouldn't show up. Like on a Wednesday, they just wouldn't come. And then it started happening more and more. And I think by June is when we really were like, okay, what's going on? Because there would be like 2 or 3 days a week where they wouldn't show up. And that is, I've never seen that in my life, where they just don't come for no reason.
Do the robot.
And that's how it is right now, which sucks because I'm selling my cards. And at the very least, TCG Player, they sent out an email and they put a notice on their
Do the
website
leg kick.
letting people know what was going on. They're like, yeah, the mail's being slowed and we just want to set your expectations. Don't expect it in 6 days. Give it a couple more days at least. So that's kind of good, but still.
Do the leg kick.
It sucks, man. I've never seen it this behind, even during our Christmas season. Because in Christmas season, there is a ton of freaking mail. I'm talking just mass amounts, like literally
Raise the
billions
roof.
of pieces of mail every other day. What is it? Raise the roof? Oh. Crap, where's raise the roof? There we go. Because everybody sends Christmas cards. And I know my mom alone sends like 150 Christmas cards.
Do the leg kick.
So that kind of gives you an idea of how many cards go out just in that time frame, basically from like the second week in December till the end of the year. You have to imagine there's just tons of people just sending out mass amounts of Christmas cards. And then, of course, all the businesses send out their Christmas cards and it's all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, there's the Christmas rush. All those advertisements are going out. I've never felt like there was a time where all
Do
that
the
stuff got delayed.
snake.
But this year, if they keep doing it the way they're doing it, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get real ugly. That and our fearless leader is still trying to confuse people about mail-in balloting. He's all, yeah, man, mail-in balloting is dumb, but absentee balloting is perfect. He doesn't even realize they're the same thing. It's the exact same thing, the exact same process.
Just dance.
Because what do you do when you're absentee ballot? You get a ballot in the mail, you fill it in, and you send it back. That's an absentee ballot. And that's exactly how mail-in balloting works.
Do the snake.
I feel like something really insane. I mean, like, we've had a lot of insane stuff. But I feel like something extremely insane is going to happen between now and the election. Like something where even with all the insanity over the last few years, I think we're going to see something that's just so nuts. Dude, a lot of people file their taxes via the mail still. Like, if you, like, for some people, if you have a fairly simple tax return, yeah, you can file it online. That's fine. Like, if, say, for instance, if you have just like one employer and all you do is work for them and that's your only income, then you can usually file online and that's fine. Other people though, like myself, I get 1099s and I get other various forms because of all the different methods of income that I have, like from Amazon and from Barnes and Noble and stuff like that. And so I have to do a long form tax, which here we call it a 1040. And so I have to do a long version of a tax return because I have to put in all the different types of income that I have. And I'm not allowed to do that online. I have to mail it in. That's the only way they will accept it, is I have to mail it in. And there are a lot of people like me where we have to file our taxes that way. So, but the thing is, it's a little bit different with tax returns though. Although, yeah, you might be a little right there because the way that taxes work is generally we have to file them every year by April 15th. Like that's the deadline, usually, unless something weird happens. And then they'll change the date. Like if the 15th falls like on a Saturday or a Sunday, they'll usually give you like an extra day or two. And the way it works is as long as your return is postmarked on April 15th, then you're fine. You're good. They won't consider it late. But now, given everything that's going on with the mail, I imagine if I stick it in the mail like that morning on April 15th, will somebody actually look at my, letter that day and postmark it? Or is it going to sit somewhere, in a warehouse like they have been? Because if I mail on the 15th and it sits in a warehouse for 4 days without getting a postmark, now my taxes are late. And if your taxes are late, that's not fun. Because then you get penalized. And you got to pay money. And nobody wants to pay money. So that's going to be... You know what I think is going to happen, though? I think if Trump loses, which I think he will, as long as we all vote, I don't care if... Like, I've already applied for and been approved for mail-in balloting. But something tells me something's going to happen. Like I said, something weird is going to happen here in the next couple of months. If for some reason mail-in balloting just doesn't look like it's really going to happen, I'll go out and I'll vote. It's fine. But I think if Trump loses, because the election is in November, but he wouldn't actually leave office until like January 20th or 21st of the following year, which would be January 21st, 2021. And that's when the new president would come in. So it gives the new president time to try and fix things before April 15th. So I think if that happens, hopefully it'll give the new president time to come in and get things reorganized and fixed as good as possible, bring those machines back online, that sort of stuff. Get all those crazy people out of the various offices that they're in. Because there are so many people that are in presidential appointed offices right now that have no business being in there. They just don't. They have no experience doing what they're doing. Like, one, for instance, there's a guy named Ben Carson who is a neurosurgeon. He's a very smart man. He's a neurosurgeon, but he is in charge of um, uh, housing and urban development. And I'm like, why is a neurosurgeon running that? He has no experience in that. Wouldn't you want him to be, like your, something having to do with the medical field? Put him into that. Like get him hooked up with the CDC or something, or make him the, what is it, the health, something having to do with health administration. It makes sense to do that. But no, they don't do that. And then the guy who runs our post office, our postmaster general, he actually owns stock in other companies that directly compete with the United States Postal Service for business. So, yeah. It seems kind of weird that somebody who owns literally millions of dollars of shares in other companies that directly compete with the United States Postal Service is running the US Postal Service. Yeah. And they all know that's why he's doing it. It's one of those open secrets that everybody knows is happening. But it's like, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to stop him? Because at this point the Republicans have let them do kind of pretty much anything they want. I mean, sure, you can try to impeach them, remove them from office, but again, since the Republicans control the Senate, there's no way to actually remove them. The House will vote to remove, but then the Senate will just be like, nah, we're going to leave them in there. It's insane, man. It's just absolutely insane. I blame Nederland. It's all Nederland's fault. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Don't y'all have like a queen or something? Do y'all have a royal family? I didn't even think to ask. Because obviously Britain has a royal family, and I know Denmark has a royal family. Saudi Arabia has a royal family. But I don't know. Do the Netherlands have a royal family? I don't know. Because I know there's all kinds of kings and stuff all over there. Yeah, we don't have kings here, so we don't know.
Grab the flag at the end of the race.
You have a king? Is he just kind of for show, or is he an actual administrator? Because I know, like, the Queen of England, she's more of like a figurehead. That's all. She doesn't really, she kind of lets the Parliament handle everything. She doesn't really get involved in politics anymore. Because I mean, it's a more democratic process that way, which is good. But yeah, she doesn't really get involved in any of that stuff, even though she technically still has power over Parliament. What's your king's name? Is it like King Jeff or something? And your royal family, do they have like a 35-year-old hot princess that's single? Like Princess Margaret? I don't know. Just for show, he does absolutely nothing. He doesn't even do like charity work or anything, or because I know that's what the royals do in England. They don't really have any say of what's going on with the government. They do a lot of charity work though. Willem Alexander. Yeah, I know like Prince Charles and his wife, and then Prince Harry and Prince William in Britain. I know that they do a lot of charity work. Like their mom, Princess Diana, she did a ton of charity work. She did stuff in Africa. She did stuff for AIDS relief and AIDS research. She did a lot of good stuff. So at least she served, that's the good thing. I don't want, if they have a royal family that are getting paid by the state and everything, it's like, well, at least do something for your country, right? And so that's what I think what Diana was doing. She was just trying to help out and going out doing the pictures and all that, and I thought that was kind of neat. Willem, I gotta look that up now. Willem Alexander. So he's King Will. Oops. So it's Willem. Here we go. Alright, let's see. Let's take a look at this dude. Oh my god, he looks like Trump. I'm kidding. He actually doesn't look that much like Trump. You seen him go skiing once? He does go around town when it's King's Day. Oh, that's nice. He goes around. Like, I don't mind there being royalty as long as they don't act like stuck-up dicks. Like, if Prince Harry and Prince William were jackasses, I would not like them. But the thing I actually do like about them is they both served in the military, which is awesome. I'm sure they were a little protected, but still, they served. I think that's good. And then on top of that, Prince Harry and his wife, they're not even taking money from the state anymore. They're off doing their own thing. So I think that's kind of neat. Let's see. Okay, there's his wife. Well, let's see. Where's his family? Let me see. Spouse, children. Oh, here we go. Children. Katharina, Amalia, Beatrix, Carmen, Victoria. Wow, that's a long name. Princess Alexis of the Netherlands. Okay, so is that the same? No, oh, it's a different person. And then Princess Ariane of the Netherlands. Okay, let's see. Princess Alexis. Oh, she's a little girl. She's 15. Okay. Let's see. So that was Princess Alexis, right? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Princess Ariane. Ariane is... Oh, okay. She's 13. So these are young kids. Okay. What about Katharina, Amalia, Beatrix, Carmen, Victoria? That's a long name. And this one is 16 years old. Okay, so they're all children. Huh. Okay, well, oh, I see. He's 53, so he's not very old at all. Okay, so yeah, he's got 3 kids. All girls, too. Wow. Oh, here's his full name. Willem Alexander Klaus George Ferdinand. Wow. That's interesting. Oh, here we go. Queen Maxima. Let's see. Are you hot, Queen Maxima? Yeah, you look like a regular woman. Not that that's a bad thing. That sounds horrible. Oh, wow, she's 5'10". She's kind of tall. Oh, but that's right. It's the Netherlands. All of y'all are tall. Well, except for Willem. He's only 6 foot. Willem's only 6 foot tall, man. Oh, here's Beatrix, another Beatrix, 82 years old. I guess this is the mother? Member of the Dutch royal house who reigned as Queen of Netherlands from 1980 until her abdication in 2013. Oh, okay. So she's still around. She just abdicated. So she could just chill out and retire. Makes sense. I mean, you're in your 80s, might as well retire. But there you go, dude. I know you're pretty young. Go and wait a few years, wait for that 16-year-old to get a little older, and there you go, man. Go marry into the royal family. You could be king someday. You never know, man. Stranger things have happened. I sent a really terrible joke to my friend. We were talking about eye color earlier. And I said, oh, did I ever tell you I only have one eye? And she's like, what? What do you mean? You only have one eye? And I sent back to her, I said, yes, it's brown and I have to bend over for you to see it. Might even have your own cheese. There you go, man. Go be a prince so you can have your own cheese. They'll call it Moni cheese. Cheese Manon, whatever. Or who knows? Maybe you'll get your own cheese, and then they can put it on Cheez-Its. And there you go. You'll have your own cracker. Let's see. Beta quadrant. Donatu. Sure, let's go there. Hey man, stranger things have happened, dude.
We're in
Like,
luck. We made it here before Yugioh. Let's get to work.
oh, I remember this one. Like, what is her name? Megan. There you go, Princess Megan. Meghan Markle, or a Duchess, I should say. Uh, I don't think, ever thought that she would be married into royalty.
Dropping out of warp. They're arming weapons.
And now she's part of the royal family. Although, she's had some problems, man. Apparently, there's been some racism there. Because she's half African American. And, yeah, there's been some problems going on there with some racism. Some people saying some really terrible things about her. I just don't get it. People are weird like that. But it definitely feels like she's had a harder time than what's her name has, Prince William's wife. Again, I don't remember her name. Sorry. I think if any royal ever wanted to marry me, the first thing I'd ask them is be like, "Are you drunk? How often do you do drugs?" Emergency orders going around? What do you mean emergency orders?
Okay, let's have a look.
I sincerely don't know what you mean by emergency order. They could mean something completely different here in the States. Because an emergency order is here in the States is more like if there's like a hurricane coming, or if there's a tornado warning, and then there's like an emergency order to like shelter in place, that kind of thing. Are y'all having inclement weather over there? What's going on?
Heads up! An Alachi fleet just dropped out of warp. Let's get satellite Gamma online while we can.
Hold on, I just thought of something. Okay, I do have weapons batteries there. It's not showing up here though. Okay. It's weird. Come on, show my batteries. What is going on? Is this locked? It's not locked. Why are you not sticking my batteries there? There it goes. Because that's one thing I need on this little ship. It always runs a little low on power for weapons, so I gotta pop those little batteries.
I was afraid of this. More a lot.
According to Google, it means the mayor is allowed to do anything to uphold the safety and peace of the community. I imagine that's probably during some really
All right,
weird
one
times.
satellite left to deploy. Let's get to work.
Like the mayor can probably order the police to, you know, go to like certain neighborhoods or I don't know, certain areas of the
They're
city.
hitting satellite Alpha again.
Whoa, riots? Y'all are having riots there? I thought that was only in America, man. Only America's having riots. It feels like so many countries are having riots right now. Like I know Belarus. Oh man,
Going after
they're
satellite Delta.
they're going nuts right now. I'm not surprised that they're going nuts. I mean, you can't just steal an election and not expect your people to freak out. These riots are without any reason? Really? They're just doing it for the hell of it? That's weird. Well, maybe that's why they're riots, because they're not... Okay, because, yeah, protests is if there's something actually wrong and they want to get something fixed. But they're just like, eh, screw it, let's just go riot. Yeah, here the same stuff is happening as has been happening, which is sad. Yet another person who called the police for help here, this time in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Apparently a couple of guys broke into his house, and so he shot them, which you're completely allowed to do. If somebody breaks into your house and you fear for your life, you can shoot them. That's why we have guns. And so they break into the house, he shoots them, he calls the police and tells the people on the line, hey, I have had to shoot, you know, two people who broke into my house. I need police assistance. And so the police go out there and they shoot him. Seriously, they shoot him. It's like, come on, man. Younger crowd of people riding for fun. People are saying it's because they can't go on vacation anymore. Oh. Well, I mean, going out and rioting isn't going to make this end any sooner. I get the frustration, I really do. You know, because I can't. There, I mean, especially not well, yeah, mostly during the summer. I guess maybe I could have at least tried to go to the beach if I wanted to, but I don't because we're a very warm place here in the States, and it's always, you know, there's always tourists no matter what. Even during this time, we still have tourists here. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to mess with that.
Satellite camera is damaged. Can you repair it?
Yes, I can repair it. Yeah, I'm getting upset and destroying stuff for that reason. I understand why the people here in the States are doing it, because there's some real problems. Like the police keep killing people who are innocent. I mean, heck, even if the people are guilty, they're not supposed to be killing them. You're supposed to arrest them and then let a jury of their peers decide if they are guilty or not.
Getting lots of good data. The Alachi.
But, for a long time, people were like, oh, it's just because you think it's police killing black people. Nope. This last guy was white. And he's getting just as much attention, too. Which is good. Because it shows that it's not just about black people versus white people, that sort of thing. It's just that, you know, cops, I mean, they're going around killing people for no reason, man. And he actually yelled to the cops. He's like, I'm the one that called you. I'm the one that called you. You can hear it because there's video. And the weird thing is that the body cameras for the cops, no joke, like there was 4 cops, and apparently all of their body cameras were malfunctioning. But thankfully, in that neighborhood, there are several people with those doorbell alarms, those doorbell cameras. And not only do they pick up video, but they pick up sound. And so there's actual video of the police showing up to the guy's house, and you can hear him yelling out, I'm the one that called you. I'm the one that called you. And they just immediately start shooting him. They seriously, they shot the guy. We see the first round of shots. There was like 6 or 7 shots, and then there's like a small pause of like maybe 5 seconds or so, and then there's like 4 or 5 more shots after that. So they just filled him full of holes. And I feel bad for him. Yeah, exactly. I feel bad for the guy because after the first round of shots where they just start shooting him, you can hear him crying for help. He's like, ah! You can hear the poor guy screaming because he's just been shot several times. And then they go and they finish him off. And I'm like, what in the F, man? What is going on? How are people okay with this? This is the reason. This is, I mean, because for a long time here in this country, there's a movement going on right now to defund the police. And people were trying to argue that it's like, oh, the black people just want you to get the police defunded because of what's happening with them. No, police, regardless, are just killing people, man. That's why we want police defunded. Because obviously there are a lot of cops out there that shouldn't be cops. Because they're just going around killing people. I mean, every time I see something like that, I think to myself, do I even want to call the police if something happens with me now? Like I doubt it'll happen because I'm on the 2nd floor, and you know, there are a lot of other much easier targets out there for people breaking into houses and stuff. But I figure if I ever needed the police, like if somebody was trying to get into my house, would I even call them? I don't know. I sincerely don't know if I would now. Because before I was like, well, you know, I don't own a gun. They have guns. But now I see this, because this is not nearly the first time this has happened, where somebody that called the police, the homeowner, and they are the ones that get shot and killed. Or there was another one, I think it was a couple weeks ago. I think I already mentioned this one. There was a guy who was at home at his apartment playing video games with his girlfriend. And somebody called in a noise complaint, and the cops showed up. And the cop goes and starts knocking, and he knocks pretty hard. And he's all, police. And then he moves away from the door. So if you look through the peephole, you can't see the cops. And so, of course, if I hear somebody just come and start banging on my door, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, if I had a gun, I'd probably arm myself. Because it's like, I don't know who this is. I look outside, somebody just said police, but I don't see a cop out there because the cop has moved from the line of sight of the peephole. So I don't know if it's a cop or not. It could just be some weirdo, or it could be somebody looking to do a home invasion. I don't know. And so the guy, he has his pistol with him, but it's facing down and it's behind him. And so he opens the door and he looks outside and he kind of pokes his head out, and then he finally sees the cop. And then the cop who is behind him, like on the opposite side of where that first cop is, that cop freaks out, pulls his gun, and the cop just starts yelling, "Put the weapon down, put the weapon down." And so the guy's like, "Okay, okay." And he starts going down to the floor. Cop shoots him anyway. Cop shoots him 3 times in the back. And the guy dies. I'm like, again, it was a white guy. It wasn't a black man. It was a white guy. And again, I think about that and I'm like, I may have reacted the same way if I had a pistol. Because again, I mean, home invasions happen. You know, people just come and they start banging on your door. And again, anybody can say they're the cops and then move out of line of sight and then you don't know. Yeah, I mean, same thing with those guys. I don't even think those cops lost their jobs. It makes no sense to me. They just immediately go and start killing people. They don't even, and that's the thing about being a cop. I understand being cop's hard, and it's dangerous. That's part of the job. That's you accept that when you become a police officer. You know that you could go out and be killed someday. That's part of the job. That's why they get paid so much. But yeah, it happens way too much. I know we're a big country with a lot of people, but that crap shouldn't be happening at all. And it's like every week there's another story about the cops just showing up at somebody's house and they don't even give the person any time to, comply with their orders or anything, and they just shoot them. The same thing has happened with people with mental illness. Like there was a story a couple of years back about some man who was having a mental breakdown, and apparently he was autistic, and he was freaking out, because that's sometimes people freak out like that when they're autistic. And initially, I think they called like his brother or his social worker. I think it was the social worker, and they get the social worker out there, and the social worker's talking to him, trying to get him to calm down, and he does eventually calm down. Well, as they're trying to wrap things up, he starts freaking out a little bit again. Again, he's autistic. It can happen. And the cops killed him. Yeah, they said, "Oh, he was a threat. We had to kill him." It's like, come on, man. Especially in a situation like that where you've already got a social worker out there. And it wasn't just a random social worker. This was a social worker that autistic man knew. He knew that person. So he trusted them. I mean, even if he starts freaking out, I mean, come on, the taser, man. Because at that point, there was like 8 cops out there. And not one of them, not a single one, was like, "Hey, let's just go with the taser." Nah, they shot him. Same thing. They didn't lose their jobs. The moment where being robbed seems safer than calling the police. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have a baseball bat and I have a big freaking knife. I have like a Crocodile Dundee knife that I have handy, because I would get a gun because I used to own guns, but I kind of don't really want to have to go and get another gun again. But I figure, again, the chances of me getting, somebody breaking into my apartment are pretty slim. Again, because I'm on the 2nd floor. No one's going to stick a ladder up to try to get into my apartment when they can just go and break into somebody who's on the 1st floor. And as far as home invasions, again, I doubt that'll happen. Because, again, I'm on the 2nd floor. You go for the easier targets. But, yeah, if something like that happens, yeah, I just break out the bat and start beating the crap out of them. And hope that they don't have a gun. If they have a gun, well, not a lot I can do about that. They're like, "But if you have a gun," maybe. but even then, it's still 50-50 at best. And if I do have a gun and I happen to put them down, I still have to call the police because I've just shot somebody. Yes, I was protecting myself, but I still have to call the police. So at that point, then it's like, okay, the police are on their way. I hope they don't kill
For
me.
a limited time only, I will be awarding bonus favors to anyone who comes help me locate
It's
temporal
nuts, man. I
artifacts.
think the best thing to do if something like that were to happen, gosh, I don't know though, because like say for instance, if I do have to do something like that where I have to put a bullet in somebody to protect myself, and maybe they're not dead, maybe they're just passed out from blood loss, I don't know.
Say,
But
friend, there's a bunch of. How can I help you?
do I go outside and do I wait for the police? And if I do go outside, do I leave my gun inside? Because I don't think it would be a good idea to leave my gun inside with the suspect who might still be alive. You know, I mean, do I drag the suspect out of my... I don't know. It's... You know, because if I go outside with a gun and they see me, they may think, oh, this must be the guy. This must be the bad guy. And so they pull their guns and I'm like, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. I called you. Get shot. Yeah, I think locally our police are actually pretty good. Now, of course, we're a smaller city, so our police force is a little smaller. But still, that always worries me though, because it only takes. I mean, this stuff like this happens in seconds. It's like you could just be kind of doing your own thing. You call the cops. A minute later, a cop shows up, and boom, just like that, you're dead. From the cop of all people. Come on, where is this thing? Well, it keeps pointing me out here, but there aren't any in the water. Okay, now it's pointing me this way. So I bet it's going to be this one over here. Because I know there's one right here, and then there's another one on the next island over. Okay, it says it's over here. Oh my god, come on. Now you're making me go in a circle. Okay, it's taking me right back to where I was. Come on. Is it on this little island right here? Nope, now I'm further from it. Okay. Okay, this is getting stupid. Where is it? Okay, now it says over here. Oh, maybe it's over here. There's a little spot over here. Is it right here?
You found it.
Oh, there it is.
Dig it up and bring it back to me at my camp.
It's scary, man.
Well
It's
done.
scary
Well
right now in
done
America.
indeed. How can I help you?
We've always had problems, but in my lifetime, I think this is probably the most nuts I've seen it. Yeah, something's going to have to happen. I think part of the problem also is that some police unions have stated clearly that if they have their budgets cut, they have no problem with looking the other way if crime happens. And that is so effed up. That is so effed up. You know, they're essentially holding our safety prisoner unless they get what they want. That's, at that point, it's not even, it's not a police force, it's a racketeering operation. That's what it is. Because they say, oh, you lower our budget? Oh, well, I guess we may just look the other way when somebody gets robbed next time. My response to that would be like, well, you know what? Then none of you should be police. None of you should be police. I sincerely think that if any, at least a smaller city, if they're like, if our union came out, like our union president for the police came out and said, yeah, if you lower our budget, then we may just look the other way. At that point, I'd be like, you know what? We're just going to disband the police then. We don't need any of you to be police officers. Anybody that is good with that, if you will put your, that sort of option to us, then none of you deserve to be police officers. It is a gang. That's essentially what it is, and that's part of the problem. It's a gang that are licensed to have weapons. For a lot of people, it is, because there are a lot of cops out there who have had literally dozens of complaints filed against them for brutality and harassment, but they're still on the job because the unions protect them. And that's, I mean, I'm kind of for unions, and I'm also kind of against them. Like the one union that I was in, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. I hated it with a passion, because the way that it was arranged was, I think I mentioned to y'all, I used to work for AT&T back in the 2000s. I used to work for AT&T at a call center, and it wasn't the most glorious job, but it paid really well. It paid really well. Free health insurance. It was part of our compensation package. And we got quarterly and yearly bonuses. And these weren't just tiny little like $100 bonuses. Like our quarterly bonuses would be $800 or $900. And our end of year bonus would be like $5,000. So these were nice bonuses on top of our hourly pay. So it was a good job. It was a really good job. It paid really, really well. But then there was another company here called Singular, which was also a wireless carrier. And there was a buyout. Basically, Singular and AT&T merged. And Singular had a union. AT&T didn't. And so all of us old AT&T people were pretty much forced to join the union, even though we didn't want to. Because one of the first things they said, I'm not paying union fees. I'm not doing any of that stuff. And they said, well, even if you're not really part of the union, you're still part of it. I'm like, how? And they're like, you don't have to have a voting right. You don't have to pay fees or anything like that. But anything that the union sets up, as far as their deals go with the company, you still have to follow that. And I'm just like, this is going to end badly. All of our bonuses were gone. Our quarterly bonuses, gone. Yearly bonus, gone. Regular pay raises, gone. Free health insurance, gone. All of it because of the union. And I'm thinking, how is this any better? It made the job unbearable. And not only because we lost all of those benefits, but because, again, we were a call center. And we were taking calls just for AT&T customers. Well, then they're like, oh, well, you're part of Singular now, so you're also taking Singular customers. So we went from, I remember when I first started there, the first year, which was glorious, it was amazing. The first year, I could take a call, and the call would be like 10 minutes long, all depending on what the issue was. And that call would end, and then I'd get like 3 or 4 minutes between calls where I could just kind of chill out and maybe finish putting notes on an account or something like that. It was great. Once the merger happened, it was back to back to back calls for years. For literally years. We went from, again, having 0 people waiting in the queue to talk to somebody to the queue had like literally thousands of people waiting to get a hold of one of us reps to try and take care of something for them. It was insane. And then on top of that, they started making us do mandatory overtime. And all us old AT&T people were like, no, we're not going to come in. They're like, you have to. And I'm like, oh, really? Do we now? And they're like, yeah, it's part of the union agreement. And then we're like, well, we're not part of the union. They're like, it doesn't matter. You still have to be here. And a lot of us just didn't come in. Like that's when things really started going downhill. Is we told them straight out. We said, look, we didn't want to be in the union. We didn't ask for it. So we're not going to follow this. And a lot of people did that. A lot of people walked out. In fact, within the first year, because I know we had about 1,000 people at my call center total. During any given time, there was usually about 500 or 600 of us in the building, but total employees was like 1,000 or so, because we had our day shift and then our night shift and so forth. Within the first year, half of those people left. Everybody was quitting. Everybody was like, and of course, if somebody quits, it takes time to bring new people in and get them up to speed. And so, because everybody was quitting, the queues got even bigger. And then I remember when I finally quit, I was so stressed out and so over it. I was just like, dude, if I never see this call center again, I will be perfectly happy with that. And so I immediately started going out looking for another job, found a job, put in my 2 weeks, and I talked to my supervisor, and she's like, you really don't even want to put in your 2 weeks, do you? And I'm like, nope. I said, I will give you 2 weeks as a courtesy, but if I could leave now, I would. I do not want to be here. And she's like, I understand. Because she was one of the old AT&T people too. But she was a little higher up on the chain, so if she left, she had more to lose. So yeah, put my 2 weeks in and went to another job. I feel bad for all those people, man. They don't care. They actually liked it because people like me and people like a lot of the other AT&T people, we were getting paid more than the singular people. We were getting paid something like 20% more, simply because, again, when we were separate companies, AT&T, they just paid us more. We were compensated better than the singular people. And so when singular management came in, they were perfectly fine with us leaving, because they're like, oh, well, I don't have to pay this person $18 an hour anymore. Let me go hire this other person and pay them $10 an hour. They didn't care because it looked good in their books. So they were fine with us leaving. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's probably why they did most of what they did. Is because if you can get somebody and pay them, 40% less to do the same job, why wouldn't you? Ooh, powerboard races. It does suck though, man. I really that. Like I said, that 1 year that I worked for them, probably the best year I ever had working for a company. It was that good. It was that awesome. And it sucks that it only lasted a year. And then when Singular came in, I think I lasted 2 more years. Let me see. I started in, okay, and I quit. Okay, yeah, I was there for like 4 years. I think it was like a year and a half for AT&T, and then I tried and struggled to stay with it because I was married at the time, and I was providing health insurance for me and my wife needed health insurance, so I couldn't just up and leave. Because again, that's another stupid thing we do here in the States. Tie health insurance to employment. So if I leave a company, that means we lose our insurance, which is dumb. Come on, man, I want to race. Oh, wait, I forgot. Tribbles. Where are you? Hey, there it is. The Rizian Tribble. Come here, you little punk. Put you over there. Oh yeah, I forgot I got this. R&D stuff. I'm gonna salvage that. Salvage all this. How much salvage do I have? 2,600. That's not that much. I think one of the jobs that I got that I actually regret leaving, I got a job, I think it was in 2008, 2009, somewhere around there. I got a job with the state of Texas. And
you can still seek out artifacts
here in Texas,
only for the standard payout.
Here in Texas, you can legally carry a concealed handgun as long as you have a license. And I got a job processing those licenses. Like, people would mail in their applications and stuff with all of their information and all their paperwork and stuff, and I would process those. And that was actually a pretty easy job, and it paid fairly well. I think it paid us like 14 an hour, something like that. 14 bucks an hour, and it was a state job. And the thing about state jobs and federal jobs here is if you're with the state or if you're with a federal agency for 22 years, you can retire. So technically, you could get a job like when you're 20 with the state and be retired by the time you're like 42 or 43 and get a pension and everything. Most people don't retire that soon, but you could. So that's why people love state jobs. Plus, state jobs give really, really good benefits, like really good health insurance and dental insurance and all that other stuff. So yeah, getting a state job is a good thing. Um, but I had that job for a while, and I actually got it through an employment agency because this was back during 2007, 2008, when we had that big recession here in the States, and everybody was losing their jobs. So that's how I initially lost my job, the one I previously had. So then I got that job with the state, and I was there with them for a while, for about 8 months. And then another opportunity came up that paid a little bit more, so I took that, and that was a mistake because I think, man, I could still be working for the state, and it was pretty easy. I got my own desk. People left me alone. Uh, we were allowed to bring our MP3 players to work and just put our headphones on and just process the stuff. It was a little repetitive, um, but sometimes we had to mail back the people who were applying, that sort of thing. But it was easy. It was really easy, and like I said, we got to listen to music, and occasionally they would buy us all lunch. And damn, man, probably should have stuck with it. Oh, did that guy get DQ'd? I think my one opponent got DQ'd. So all I have to do is finish the race, and I'll win. But yeah, state jobs are actually kind of hard to get, so I was surprised when I got it. In fact, the reason why I even applied is because my wife at the time, she worked for the Texas Department of Insurance, which, again, state job. Didn't pay her very much, but again, it had really good benefits. In fact, after this was after we had already divorced and everything. I think it was like in 2015. She quit working there, and at that point, we were, oh wow, second place. I didn't even see that guy go past me. I think he glitched. What a jerk. Anyways, but she quit that job, and I remember her telling me about it like in 2015 after we were back on speaking terms. And I told her, I was like, why would you do that? She's like, what? And I'm like you already, she was already in there for like 10 years. And I'm like, why would you leave that job? And that's because at this point, they had already given her raises and she was making much better money. And I remember just telling her, like, I can't believe you quit that job. That was such a good job. And she was getting promotions and everything too. And I said, I sincerely hope you don't end up regretting that. And because shortly after, she moved to Dallas and got a job over there doing something sort of similar, but not with the state. And then she recently, like in the past month, the last few months or so, I think it was back in like June, she moved back to the Austin area to be closer to her mom because her mom's getting up there in age. And I spoke to her and she's like, yeah, I'm starting to regret leaving the state now. I'm like, yep, that'll happen. I mean, she still has a job and everything, but again, once you get that job with the state, it's one of those jobs you keep your entire life. Because again, they pay you pretty fairly. They give you good benefits, and then, like I said, you can retire so young and get pension for the rest of your life. Which I think, with her job, her pension would have given her like 70% of her pay, which is good. I mean, it's not as much obviously she was making, but usually what people do is they will work in a job like that. They'll get their pension, and they'll retire at 65, like most people do. So not only will you get your pension, but on top of that, you also get the Social Security pension from the government. So basically, you're getting your pension from your old job plus the money from the government. So that's pretty good. That's definitely more than enough money to take care of you. Damn. Maybe I should apply for a government job again. Just go back to the regular working instead of doing what I'm doing now. Playing video games, selling cards, writing books, being a ghostwriter. I'd definitely make more money. Because then I would get that job and then I would also still get all my other pay. Where was I going? I don't even remember. In progress, R&D. Okay, never mind. A lot of companies are like that, though. Thinking, kind of hearkening back to the whole union thing. A lot of companies do that. If you're making a good amount of money and the government wants to make cuts, a lot of times what they'll do is they won't lay you off. They'll make the job so unbearable that you'll quit. And looking back now, at one of the jobs that I had after I worked for AT&T, in fact, it was the job that I took after leaving AT&T. I was with them for a couple of years, and I was making good money. And I noticed that they started asking me to do all kinds of different stuff, like stuff that I wasn't even hired to do. And I think that's what they were trying to do to me, because they just kept giving me more and more responsibilities and not paying me more. I think they were trying to get me to quit. And when I wouldn't quit, that's when they finally tried to find a way to fire me. I think I mentioned it, they claimed that they saw me sleeping on the job. And the way it worked at our little office, because we didn't have a ton of people there. There was only like 25 people in the office. But generally you would just go and you'd bring your lunch with you to work or whatever, and then you go to the break room and you'd eat your lunch and then maybe go back and sit back at your desk. And it wasn't unusual for people to just like kind of sit back or put their head on their desk and just take a little breather. And that's what I did. I went, had my lunch, I went back to my desk, and I put my head down for like a good 20 minutes. I was still on lunch break. And when they finally pulled me in like 2 weeks later and tried to fire me, they said, yeah, we saw you sleeping at your desk while you were on the clock. And I said, I wasn't on the clock. Like, what do you mean? I said, go and look at the time that you saw me doing that. I was not on the clock. I was on my lunch break. And you had told us a long time ago that it was fine to do that if we were not on the clock. So that's what I did. And they just kind of looked at each other like, well, we're going to have to let you go anyway. I'm like, screw you all. What in the F, man? And because of that, they couldn't come out and say that they actually caught me sleeping. So they laid me off and I got unemployment because I don't think they wanted to actually lay me off at that point, but they had already gotten to the point within the conversation where certain words had been said that couldn't be taken back, not by me. But yeah, they kind of just said some really snarky things to me, and then I came back and said I was never asleep on the clock, because I wasn't. I mean, that's irresponsible. And then when they checked all their information, they're like, oh crap, he's right. I mean, it's a little funny, but I would have much rather have kept my job, because again, this is around 2008 or so when things started getting really bad here in the US. And I know why they wanted to get rid of me, because I was getting paid much more than some of the other people were, because I had come in a couple of years earlier, and my selling point to them was that I worked for AT&T and that I had done a lot of business in cell phones. And so that was the whole thing. And they essentially poached me away from AT&T. At least that's how I made it look. Because that's what you do in business. Whenever you're going from one job to another, you want to try to give your potential new employer a reason to offer you as much money as possible. And so that's what I told them. I said, well, I'm still working at AT&T, but if you give me a reason to leave, like more money, then I will walk away from them. And so that's what they did. They offered me more money than I was making with AT&T, so that's why I left. But then, a couple of years go by and they realize, well, we're paying this person a lot of money And I thought I was doing a good job, as good as I could. And they started hiring other people because we started getting bigger. And of course, those people who came in, they weren't getting paid nearly as much as I was. They were getting paid, I think, like $11 an hour, while I was getting paid closer to 15. And so I started training all these people, which should have been assigned to me. And yeah, after I trained all of them, that's when all that stuff happened, and that's when they tried to can me, and I was like, no, you're gonna have to lay me off. Because there is a difference between being fired and being laid off, in case you don't know. Or at least here in the States, there's a difference. If you get fired, it's because you really did something wrong, which is what they were trying to do to me. But then they found that I didn't do anything wrong. And so at that point, like I said, certain things had already been said and there was no going back, so they had to lay me off. And that sucks for them because here in the States, whenever you lay an employee off, you still have to pay them. Like the unemployment insurance that we get, like when I got laid off, I filed for unemployment and I got it because I was laid off. If you're laid off, you automatically get it. But the state doesn't actually pay for it. The company that lays you off pays for it. So they basically had to pay me for 6 months after they tried to get rid of me. So yeah, that's how all that went down. Anyway, I've been online too long. I'm gonna go take a break. Thanks for hanging out with me, dude. Go and get your cheese. Go and play your game. Tell us how it is. I'll get into Discord and start giving Comrade a hard time for no reason.